Welcome to Down South Football. We are coming to y'all live today, talking about the ACC as they get ready for their season opener tomorrow. With starting off with the local flavor with UAB at Miami. So what we're gonna do today is just answer a few ACC questions. We all know who the favorite is. However, there's be some surprises this year. Some players we should watch, some that we know, some newcomers, and we're just gonna get into it. So as y'all know, I'm your boy Bernard Williams. Below me is David Gardner. To the right of him is Mr. Chauncey Tuck, and above him is I don't know what 1 point better. I'm not gonna ask.
1 point better. It is game week. Y'all already know what time it is. I let him get through the intro. Y'all already know how we do, man. This your man. I am DJ Double Dose, man. I'm beyond pumped up, man. I can't even sit in my chair right.
I think what Mr. Ben Dennis has forgot is that I control a mute button over here now.
Thank God.
So I'm going to keep him calm down as we come to y'all, man. But hey, we happy to come with y'all, man, and happy that we have some football to talk about.
Finally.
So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it for a second. So let's start off with a couple of topics here so that we can get to it. Let's see here. How y'all feel about this question right here? Let's just get into it. We're just gonna get into the individual award. We're gonna go back to the teams. Who is the ACC Player of the Year? We're gonna go. I'm gonna let Ben go first. Then we're gonna go David. Then we're gonna go Tuck. So Ben, sir, who is your ACC Player of the Year?
I ain't gonna do it, man. I'm just gonna be a homer on this one, man. We're not a homer. I'm just gonna go with the easy. I'm just gonna go with the easy, safe pick. It'll be Trevor Lawrence.
And you better not say him. That's it. That's who you got.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
I thought he was say somebody else.
I wasn't going. I can't even jump out the window like that. I can't.
I'm waiting. I want to see if somebody gonna give me a surprise. So let me roll with Tuck and see who Tuck got. Cause Tuck is always good for some controversy.
You know me so well. So my Trevor Lawrence is a favorite, of course, but my sleeper pick is your boy, De'Aaron King, Miami.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I love that pick. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. I think I know where Dave gonna go because I just kind of know where his mind work a little bit. But let me see what Mr. Gardner got here. Who you got, Mr. Gardner?
Mr. Mikael Cunningham.
I knew it.
Call him Mikael Cunningham. I call him Malik Cunningham from the University of Louisville. If you don't know him, you need to find him. You need to look on YouTube tonight.
Yeah,
he's the next great thing, man. I know Trevor Lawrence is the favorite, but I believe my guy gonna come through for me. So Malik Cunningham.
That's what's up.
Well, since David took two more questions that I had, took my sleeper pick off under me.
Well, Ben started it.
Actually, Tuck took mine too.
Oh, yeah.
So Tuck took mine too. So I'm gonna roll with Mr. Sam Howell from University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
That's a good pick too.
Hey, so that's how I feel about him. So I had about 4 or 5 of them.
Look at your boy though. Look at your boy up there.
Hey man,
that Sam Howell pick.
Hey man, take that shirt off and leave your feelings at home. He's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, bro. Man. Ain't nothing we can do about it, dog. Ain't nothing we can do about it.
2 more years, man. 2 more years.
Hey, you right.
2 more years. He gone.
1 more after this one.
No, this shit don't count.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
right. Really? So yeah. He can get on the
stay in college, young man.
Hey, we got your eligibility. So before we go into the next question, because we got a lot of questions we want to get to. So
okay.
I say when we talking about teams, let's just start at the top. Let's just start at the top real quick. Honestly, we're not really coming at y'all long tonight, so we're not going to get into all of the teams that's not predicted to do as well. I know y'all want to hear about the heavy hitters, so that's what we're going to get into tonight. We got all season, hopefully, to get into it.
1 week at a time. Just one week.
We're doing this 1 week at a time. We got some good things going on. So let's talk about the defending ACC champions, and let's talk about them Clemson Tigers. So I will start off by saying, of course, Clemson is going to be the favorite. with the way they recruit, who they got coming back, with ETN and Trevor Lawrence coming back, is there a better running back and wide receiver? I mean, running back and quarterback combo in college football right now? I'll probably say
since
no.
we done cut off two other divisions, we done cut off two other conferences. So right now, yeah.
well, saying that, I don't. I mean, who else would you say though?
I mean, yeah. Even if we did cut off two conferences, I don't think it would be a better combo.
A better combo. True.
Between them two. I mean, you pretty much got two Heisman Trophy candidates in your backfield at the same time. So, I mean, that's not a push to say that they were the best combo.
Yeah. Right. So when I look at Clemson, they're at that point now. I kind of put them kind of in that Alabama category. I look at not what they have coming back because they're loaded. Right. They're going to be loaded with talent all the way around. The question is going to be, what is it that where are their weaknesses at? And I think their weaknesses is at wide receiver.
Exactly.
As far as having someone to actually play wide receiver, they're replacing 3 or 4 starters in the secondary, and replacing Mr. Everything Isaiah Simmons to me is always a concern. Now, do they have talent? Now they have that D-line talent that's coming in. I think Byron Breeze, him, Miles Murphy, all these guys, it's like top 5, top 10 candidates. But my question is going to be with them is going to be that and the schedule. With this being conference only, man, and looking at Clemson's schedule, we all going to be looking at November 7th, which is going to be that Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
And then after that, I don't know what you thinking for Florida State, but still it's going to be tough down the stretch. Even if they're not. No, what I'm saying, it's not about winning the game. It's about the grind. Yeah. It's about the grind and schedule. Yeah. So you come off of that. You got Florida State, you got Pitt, you got B-Tech. You might not win these games, but at the same time, you might not be able to. Might not be able to come out the way that you need to come out. So that's what I figure out when I'm talking about. How y'all feel about it?
I mean, the way they schedule shapes up, like you said, with them having Notre Dame and Florida State in November, up until that point, their only even remotely bit of opposition is going to be depending on what Miami team shows up in October. Outside of that, I mean, I know everybody wants to say the schedule is easy anyway, but outside of that, it pretty shapes up pretty nice for them leading up into before they face Notre Dame. You got probably one ranked team, which would be Miami. I don't think Virginia's probably not going to be ranked at the time that they play them. And we know Syracuse and Boston College probably won't be ranked either. So they're going to have one ranked game prior to Notre Dame. So it shapes up really nice for them for that showdown with Notre Dame.
What about you, Dave? What do you think about when you're looking at Clemson? Of course, they open up with Wake Forest this weekend. College game day supposed to be there, all that kind of good stuff like that. What is your thoughts on Clemson? Because like I said, I think we're at that point with Clemson that we know they're going to be strong in areas. It's like, what those things that the weaknesses hold them back in a year like this. And I want to preface that saying in a year like this where you're playing these 10 conference games. You're playing a different type of schedule than what you normally would. Not a schedule that you even knew you were going to be playing. So it's just a lot that goes into it. So what's your thoughts on it?
Well, honestly, I'm going to be looking at 3 things. 3 things I'm going to look at is, number one, I want to look at how they run the ball this season. I want to see how they run between tackles. Look at the offensive line play. Second thing, I want to see how you replace Justin Ross. I want to see who's going to be your playmaker, your deep threat, the guy that go and make catches that you should make. Third thing, I want to look at the secondary because end of last year, they didn't finish the secondary, didn't finish the season like they wanted to. Now, granted, they were playing against some dogs, but I mean, hey, I want to see, the improvement, of how that looks. So those are my 3 areas, man: run game, pass game, and secondary.
Okay, and all those are, like I said, all those are definitely big concerns. As far as we're talking about like wide receivers, maybe with with Ross not being there and what they're losing, maybe that leads a way for EJ Williams. The freshman coming in from Phoenix City. He's 6'4", 190, trying to keep that Phoenix City pipeline going. Maybe that makes a way for him to help him, move forward and help them with their actual game. So before we get down to Mr. Tuck, one big question I want to ask the group is, how many losses can you see Clemson having?
Realistically?
Yeah.
One. Maybe
one. Okay.
One.
Oh, I forgot Amari Rogers is back too. He's supposed to be back.
Yeah.
He's back to he's got his speed back from that 5-month ACL recovery that he had. So Tuck, what's your thoughts on Clemson?
Okay, so my biggest thing is probably seeing how Tony Elliott, calls the game. He's no longer a co-offensive coordinator.
Right.
I want to see how he's going to call the game.
Hello, Stevie.
I mean, I think he'll be okay because he's used to calling games and stuff. But it's just him. It's no, you gotta look to your right and say, hey, what you think about this, or what you think about that.
You gotta live and die with it.
The thing about it is you got a pretty solid offensive line. You got you got Trevor Lawrence. You got Etienne, and like I said, like we're all saying, wide receiver probably going to be their biggest question mark. So we're gonna look at. He said like EJ Williams. I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember the other one name, but and then you got a tight end. Tight end is gonna be a big question mark. Defensively, they're gonna be strong. Brent Venables is gonna have a good defense no matter what. I'm not too much worried. Like you said, we talked about the back end. The linebackers are gonna be, because Simmons is gone. But other than that, man, like I said, unless somebody, my biggest thing, I want to see how he calls the game. I mean, that's a big thing to me because you're used to a flow for what, 4 or 5 years maybe, and people thinking they think that your coordinators will never leave. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were there for 5 years, but it was time, and now Elliott is running the show now. So that's my biggest thing. I want to see how Elliott is going to, eventually transition into his play calling abilities without having somebody else there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I kind of look at Clemson kind of like this, like, looking at depth. They're one of the few teams that can probably withstand some depth issues. We're not gonna sit here and go through the whole recruiting class and all that kind of stuff right now because you already know they got some dogs coming in. So, but we're just looking at flat out scheduling what we got in front of us right now. And there's no reason for us to think that they're not gonna go 11-0. I mean, honestly, there's no reason for it. But in this kind of schedule format, you never know. Like you got teams out there. You got a Louisville. Yeah. You got.
They don't play Louisville this year.
No, well, that's true. I'm just saying, you never know when they're gonna meet Louisville. So I mean, just saying, you got other teams out there that might slip up on you. You just never know when it comes to Clemson. So let's move on to another favorite within the conference. I say within the conference, and this sounds very, very weird. So we're gonna start out with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Maybe the one and only year we'll be able to say in the actual ACC. And since we have what I like to call a Notre Dame expert on the panel, I guess we can start with him and see how he feels about Ian Book and the boys, and see what he thinks gonna happen. Tuck?
Justin, I'm sorry. Before we even get to this part, I don't really think they're gonna compete that well. To be honest with you, I don't. When I looked at their schedule, it's not sitting pretty. It really ain't. And you know what? I talked to him the other day. He was kind of a little shaky about the D line up there. Linebackers are not strong. I think what's the name declared? I mean, he's sitting out this year. I can't remember his name, but he's sitting out this year. So I mean, it's a lot. I mean, Ian Book ain't gonna get it done. He doesn't have the receiver. The coach is not that good. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think Kelly might be one of the only candidates that might get fired during the COVID situation.
They ain't for the fire, Kelly.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't see. I'm not gonna say they're gonna go like, I'm not gonna say they're gonna go like 6-6 or whatever, or 6-5 or whatever. But Florida State might just take a trip up there and surprise some people. I'm just looking at the schedule.
Well, I mean, they didn't do them no favors with their schedule.
Hold on, I gotta see Ben face when you said Florida State might surprise it.
Look, like I said, I told Ben, Florida State is almost, and not sleeping giant, but they can possibly sneak up on some teams. Not Clemson, but they can possibly sneak up on some teams and beat them. The ACC is not strong to me personally from top to bottom. But like you got your middle tier teams, like you said, as of right now, you got Florida State probably like teetering. Florida State is one good quarterback and two good offensive linemen away from being pretty good. I mean, that's it.
I mean, to your point, but I look at Notre Dame, and like you said, since we're talking about Louisville, we're not talking about Louisville, but they actually have to. If you look at their schedule and say it's any type of difficulty, they have to play FSU. They have to play Louisville. They also got Clemson, and they got North Carolina.
Bruh.
So, if you want to say that their schedule is probably one of in this whole jumble is one of the hardest ones. I mean, the only team that they're avoiding, well, not avoiding, the only team that they're not playing that's quote unquote good is Miami.
Right, and
that's the only.
And they can sneak with King. So well, I mean, to me, it's not that open and shut. Ian Book has not done nothing for me to be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's. I mean, that's just me. And I'm not gonna say any more quotes from another Notre Dame alumni that I know. I mean, it's a wait and see. I'm not gonna say they're gonna give up on the season, but it's so many unknowns that they have right now. I don't know, man.
Well, I'm with you on that. So, Dave, what's your thoughts on Notre Dame? I have my personal ones, but I'm gonna let you go ahead first, sir, and see what you got.
I think that with Notre Dame, first of all, I believe Notre Dame is going to be a solid team, regardless. Ben don't like the coach, I get it, but I mean, Brian Kelly can get you. He can get you ready to win. He can win you 8 games. I mean, under normal circumstances,
he know how to keep his job.
He can lose you 6.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying,
Well, him and Gus Malzahn are cousins.
So with all that said, I have them losing 2 games. But here's the crazy part, and we'll talk about it later, more in depth. I believe that, I still have them being, there when the dust settles, not winning it necessarily, but I still have them being one of the final 2 teams. So I think that they can weather the storm and get 8 wins out of this. But there are some question marks, like you said. But overall, I look for Notre Dame to be solid. I look for them to finish top 4, at the end of the day. Okay, so I mean, I look for them to be, and I think that in the landscape of college football, we've gotten so spoiled to where if a team loses 2 or 3 games, then they trash. Well,
which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard people say.
Right. So if you don't go undefeated, then you don't have a good team. You're terrible. No, not necessarily that. Just, I mean, this year right here, because you have some players that maybe opted out, some other things going on, it's going to be different. So I still think they're an 8-win team. I think they're going to be solid. I do believe that they're well coached. Now, how they do in a big game, that's a whole other, conversation. But so that's my take on them. I think they're going to be solid, man. I think they'll be there when it's all said and done.
In this format, I look at number one, look at schedule. I mean, that's the thing I've always looked at when we talk about people with the actual type of talent to do what I think they might be able to do, which is we just talking about conference right now. We ain't talking about no college football playoff. We're just saying compete to the conference. Right. Duke is not going to be a pushover first game. They've named Chase Bryce the starter.
Yeah.
They got an experienced man under center, and I don't even know how many times Notre Dame has even faced Duke in actual competition as football. I have
no, there's not too many times.
Yeah,
let me go to the research and development.
Yeah. Go to the R&D department. Please let me know how many times they've actually faced off. And then the fact that you're giving Cutcliffe, a whole off season now that you know what you got going on, because with this extra time, there was a Division I coach. They said they was getting ready for a radio interview, and the guy was like, "I don't want to say this out loud, but I asked the coach, hey, I don't want to take up too many time. I know you're busy." He's like, "No, I'm not busy. I have 8 weeks for a training camp. No, I'm not busy." There's like, stuff that you would never hear. And Cutcliffe is one of them kind of guys. He will cook up something for a first game, and you never know what would happen. So they go from that, and then I guess I'm just gonna call it a bye week, even though it's not a bye week.
Yeah.
Then the Wake Forest. Yeah, then they have their real bye week, and then they have Florida State.
Right.
They have Louisville. Woo, tricky.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. You never know. I know Pittsburgh is supposed to be solid on the defensive line, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
I'm about to say, yeah.
And we don't know what we're gonna get out of Georgia Tech yet. And then you roll right into a 1, 2, 3, 4 game stretch. Boom, right into that Clemson. Then Boston College. Then you got Open. So then we got the Open. You got North Carolina. So you never know going through a real conference schedule. Not saying it's tougher being independent. You just never know what it's going to roll into. So I hate to say it. If things roll as they might think, I'm looking at 2, 3 losses, because it's one thing to go through that conference, but it's one thing to not know what you're getting yourself into in this type of year.
To answer your question, Renard, 6 times.
6 times.
They played each other 6 times in total. And Notre Dame beat them last year in November, 38-7.
Okay.
And prior to that, they hadn't played since 2016.
I mean, because Notre Dame been playing football since Jesus was,
Okay. I was like, what you looking at? Yeah, it was last year though.
Mm-hmm. So it's been a minute.
I'm looking at 2 or 3, maybe losses for Notre Dame, but I also wouldn't be shocked if for some reason they was 10-0, or 10-0 and in the conference championship game.
Look, like, no pun intended, but the luck of the Irish comes on their side. Yeah,
that's very, very true.
That's very true.
He has to play lights out. I mean, like, he's got to be like for that to happen.
And I'm gonna lay my prediction at 3 losses. I want to say between 2 and 3, and they, like I said, they might get 1. It wouldn't shock me if they were like 10-1 and in the ACC championship game. It just wouldn't, because that just be something that Notre Dame would do. That's just how they would actually have to take care of the moment. So we're gonna move on from Notre Dame here, and we're gonna move on to what I consider a contender. What some people do, some people don't. And that's going to be the University of Miami. Them Hurricanes. One of my dark horses, all because of Mr. D'Eriq King. However, with the loss of their starting defensive end who has opted out, I really, really like the Hurricanes. I'm not saying undefeated season. I'm just saying that don't be surprised if they in that top 2 or 3 at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are y'all feelings about the Hurricanes? Who wants to go first?
I mean, Mr. Hurricane Hater right up here. I think he'll be the number 1.
Oh, you think the Hurricane Hater? He ain't gonna come with no facts. So let's I'm gonna let him go first just because you said that. So we're gonna let Ben just go ahead and say what his feelings is about the Miami Hurricanes with Mr. D'Eriq King at quarterback.
I will just say this about Miami. Them losing their best defender, that's one aspect, but they also lost Quarterman, if I'm not mistaken. He graduated finally. Yeah. And he was, to me, even though Russo was, arguably came into his own last year, Quarterman was always, to me, the heart and soul of that defense. So trying to replace him and also losing, your best defender opting out, to me, I think that's going to be something that you're going to have to watch to see how that defense adjusts. Because even last year when they had all them guys, remember, Manny had to end up going back and taking over the D to get them back to playing at the level that they needed to play at. So adding D'Eriq King it's definitely going to be interesting if they get the De'Aaron King from 2 years ago. If they get that De'Aaron King, then Miami is going to be able to possibly sneak up on some people and do what they have been predicted to do for the last, you go all the way back to when they had Rick when he first got there. Even though with him, they did finally make it to an ACC title game, but they can live up to expectations if De'Aaron King gets the De'Aaron King from 2 years ago. There you go. Something positive about Miami.
Oh, was that tough? That felt like
that was tough. That was tough.
It was football. It shouldn't be tough. So I will say this about what you just said. The defense was the hardest soul of that team last year because the offense never got off the bus. So I mean, we at some point, speaking from experience, when your offense can't even get you first downs and you having to rotate quarterback just to get a first down, that defense is going to wear down. So a lot of things that happened with them were definitely defensive strong, but offensive terrible related. And like I said, he doesn't have to be great. He doesn't have to be Houston great to actually produce for Miami. We're gonna see Miami tomorrow night. And see. Of course, I'm not big on judging first games, especially now with in the environment that we're in. But at least we get to see them and see what it's about. But I mean, I can see them making a little noise because talent is not the issue. And one thing I do like, and I know this is a year off, but the way they're recruiting and the way that man is going to definitely, he's going to at least try to have the defense right. You just never know what's going to happen with them. But they definitely got some talent on that roster. They got some coming back. Can the offense do something to help the defense this time around? That's one of my big questions for Miami. And, of course, always the schedule because they start out with UAB, and UAB going to try to bring their A game. And then you're going to have Louisville. You already know they got a nice little sleeping giant. Then you got Florida State. So, them first 3 games might set the tone. But then you got Open. Then you got Clemson. So, hey, we're going to know if in the first 4 or 5 weeks are y'all going to ready to bring that hammer or not. So, Dave, what you got on the Miami Hurricane? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
Hold on, Dave, before you go. But I will say this. The key difference, too, is going to be Rhett Lashley. Him becoming their offensive coordinator versus what they've had is going to be a very interesting dynamic.
I'm glad you just took my point, Ben. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
I'm my bad. Look, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You just want to it's okay.
No, I had to come with one more positive because we probably ain't gonna get that.
All right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
But I can let you go in depth about Rick because y'all know more about Rick Lashley than I do.
Well, actually, hold on.
I'll speak on it.
We don't, but go ahead, Tuck.
I'm let Dave go because Ben just
no. Tuck, go ahead.
All I'm just gonna say was, that's gonna be the X factor. Rhett Lashley, offensive coordinator that Menendez just brought in. With Rhett, this is I mean what he did at SMU, I'm telling you, it's kind of it was kind of freaky, and it kind of made me upset at the same time because Gus could have been doing the same thing, and letting Rhett work his magic. Because don't get me wrong, when Rhett was working the game, he was doing by himself and Leslie by himself doing play call. He did a hell of a job. I mean, but we're now here and we see what he did at SMU. And we're seeing what he's doing with a quarterback that he's supposed to have at Miami, and he is balling out of control. From reports, either that means your defense ain't worth a crap, or your offense is just playing lights out.
24 for 27, 430 yards, and 6 touchdowns in a scrimmage.
Shit,
I mean,
scared.
So you can take it whichever way you want to go.
You can take it however you want to go.
With it.
A lot of coaches do scrimmages like they'll do 1s versus 2s. A lot of times they don't do 1 versus 1s, but I mean, hell, 20. I think it's 24-27. It might have been 24-34 against L. Right. It's still pretty good, but
right.
Y'all said I can't remember what defensive end name that
Russo,
Greg Russo.
Yeah, but you also got to remember the end from Temple's coming in.
Yes,
he's coming in.
Thanks for making my other point, but later on we'll get to that.
You just took mine. But anyway, But so you got an Ian coming in, and the Quincy guys coming in, and then you got another grad transfer. What's his name? I can't remember his name. From Houston, the other guy, his offensive tackle.
Yeah, his lineman. Yeah, he came with him. Yep.
I mean, to be honest with you, Jared Williams, that's his name. To be honest with you, bro, Miami is a big sleeper, and don't forget, Zach McCloud playing linebacker. You talk about Quarterman. I mean, McCloud probably picked up on something that Quarterman was doing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it'll be a tight. I think they have a good season. It just, like I said, tomorrow is going to set the X factor. If they go out and blow the brains out of UAB, then
it's going to be the hype train. The hype train going to be
the hype train going to it's going to get real serious real fast on this. But I think that tomorrow is the indicator for me. It's the indicator of how their season will be. Coaches always say you get better from week 1 to week 2. To me, it's all about your build up in your season and how you can continue to flow through the season because stuff is going to happen, especially with COVID and everything. So you might as well just get ready for a chance to for something. You might want to just get ready for something bad might happen. But who knows? I mean, like I said, Miami is in a good position to be a shocker, to shock the world in front of everybody. Will they do it? I don't think so. Right. If King had one more year, I tell you what, next year they'd definitely be up there.
Well, don't he have one more year?
Oh, you know what? He does. I just thought about that. And if Miami will go back to Nike jerseys, they might be pretty decent also too. But I digress.
Right? Yeah. Please digress with you and your in your Nike rant tonight. Anybody else got anything else on Miami? How you feel about them?
I mean, I just want to see them. I really want to see them tomorrow night. I want to see how they run the ball. I'm expecting the defense to play solid. But I really want to see what type of run game they got. Pass game, I'm looking for that to be pretty solid. But I'm looking at the offensive line play a lot. And that will really tell me what I need to know for them down the stretch.
I'm hold on, let me do this. I think that De'Aaron King is gonna love Brevin Jordan. I think that's gonna be one of his. Yeah, I think that one gonna be his best friend.
That dude a monster.
And tight end. So it's so much, man. It's so much. I wish we had time to get into all the different teams like that, but we're gonna hit on 2 more, man, and then we're gonna try to move on. We got some other questions, some other things we want to answer. So, Dave, this is gonna roll back to you, sir, because I think this your team is your specialist. So we got those Louisville Cardinals with a homegrown product at quarterback. And from what I'm hearing, your boy, and I'm not putting this pressure on him, your boy is out there giving folks flashbacks of number 8 Heisman Trophy winner at practice. Those are reports that I've been hearing. Okay. I don't know what you've been hearing. I'm talking about like he's in control of the offense. He's doing it. And in Satterfield's second year up there. So what are your expectations for Louisville, David?
Expectation for Louisville. I mean, I actually have Louisville down. I got them losing maybe between 2 and 4 games. But my expectations for that program, man. First of all, I'm gonna bag up. I just want to congratulate them because, in the last season, I mean, they just made a total 180 in turning that program around. I mean, you had quarterback controversy. You had all of that, and then boom, you make a decision at quarterback. Next, hey, Tutu Atwell can't be stopped. You got Malik doing whatever he want to do. So they are excited to watch, man, and I just congratulate them, and it makes me feel proud because I had a chance to see a kid that's playing college ball now that I saw when he was 8 years old. So, I mean, but in the crazy part about it, I say it all the time. What he's doing now at Louisville is what he did when he was 8.
Right.
He looks the same. It's pretty much the same thing. He's just a lot faster than he was then. But I think the most impressive thing, because I knew he always had, he'd been able to run the ball, but he can throw that deep ball very well. And I'm just looking for him to do some big things, at least shock some people. You're going to have to, when you see Louisville on ESPN or whatever network, you're going to at least have to peep in there this year. it's been some years where you're like, in Louisville, we're gonna let them ride. Or you tune in, they down 40 points. No, this year you might want to peep in there. And like you said, Renard, I heard he's been tearing it up at practice, and I'm just looking to see great things. And he's gonna do some big things this year. So I mean, y'all need to keep your eye out for him.
What's up?
I would say this about Louisville, man. Like, Louisville always seem to be on the cusp. I don't care who the hell is coaching. I don't care if it's Satterfield, Petrino. I don't care what's going on. It's like they always right there on the cusp. Like, you can't be like, nah, it's Louisville.
Strong when he was there.
We're strong. Like, they always on the cusp, and it's like, man, like you just know it's coming. And I don't think Satterfield is going anywhere. And you're building. And I want to see Malik's second year, playing in the system and quarterback. And I'm expecting him to make a jump. Like, I'm expecting for Bo Nix to make a jump. I'm expecting for a lot of QBs to make a jump in these systems, man. And I just look at it and say, man, I want to. Everybody wants to say Clemson. Everybody wants to say Clemson and Notre Dame. But man, the ACC is, to me, it can be flipped upside down easily in this type of year, from schedule, from depth of your roster, and from COVID-19.
Right.
Especially when somebody wants to go out there and say, hey, we won, I'm finna go kick it.
Yep.
And I'm about to go see my girlfriend. And, everybody like, how do 6 people get it on a football team? Talking about like UAB. Because them people that made bad decisions.
Man, them boys they went straight to the they went straight out. As soon as they won that game, them 5 play, I bet you money. They went out there trying to get some granny's fish and grits.
Or went right on over there to that Mirage. You already know.
Right on to the Mirage, right.
Right on to that Mirage.
So I'm with y'all. You're gonna have some that gonna break the rule. But man, I'm really excited for Louisville, man, to see them this year. I know this. Y'all might be like, y'all ain't going in depth. It's hard to go in depth because I'm telling you, man, I haven't heard. There's so much that you don't hear from these teams right now because one week they practicing, the next week they off for 3 days because they say, we had to break. So it's like, really, man, we got some predictions, but it's gonna be more of a feel and go kind of thing with a lot of these conferences too. And it's not just because it's the ACC with the SEC and with anybody else, because you wake up tomorrow and somebody else has been an opt out, or somebody else been and got hurt, or a whole offensive line that got COVID. Like, it's just it's a fluid season. 2020 has been nothing but fluid. Yeah. So that's where we are with Louisville. One more surprise team that Ben's not going to like. Let's talk about them North Carolina Tar Heels. And ain't gonna lie to you. Here's an honest moment from your boy. I'm so happy we ain't playing North Carolina. I don't know.
Boy.
Because I was sitting looking like, bruh, like we gonna be straight, but I don't know if we Sam Howell ready first week, first real game in the dome straight.
Man.
Ben, what that note say?
They're I have my list of answers to the other questions. They're on the one of my questions I have answered.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were showing me, but I'm saying North Carolina surprised a lot of folks last year with Mac Brown and coming in, and he redid the staff, got your boy Dre Bly on there, got a few more folks in there, and hey, I know it's a sore subject, but him flipping Sam is probably the biggest recruiting coup of his life to actually put that kid in there now. And now you got a foundation, you got a good base moving forward. Y'all know what they're doing in recruiting now. Got some kids that are a couple kids that are reclassified moving forward. And I'm just hitting on them because they're one of my favorites. But of course, y'all know with me, it all comes down to talent, coaching, depth, and schedule.
Correct.
And looking at their schedule, they got a nice little run. But man, that them last 2 games, but they got Notre Dame and Miami.
Ooh, they're gonna pull the season.
I mean, that's like back to back. Back to end.
Back to back. So what y'all got on North Carolina?
Like I said, they're gonna remember you in November, that's what they say.
Bro. They remember you by what you did in November.
Exactly. I put it like this. To me, as of right now, if we're doing predictions, we did predictions who's going to be the best player in the ACC. Well, we did our prediction already on them, but the best coach in the ACC right now this year, I think it'll be Matt Brown.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think they will. And I mean, we'll do predictions later, but I think that's how good of a season they will have this year. Their offensive line is real sturdy. I mean, they got some road graders up there. The running back position is going to be probably their biggest question mark. Defensively,
Carolina?
Yeah.
They got one guy I like, but go ahead.
Yeah. Because he did have 1,000 yards last year. But I just think, well, I mean, he had 1,000 yards last year, but I think it was his bounce. I don't like how he bounced, bro. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. So overall, as a team, like you said, Renard, I was frightened to play them right that first game this year. As I found out like a couple other stuff about them, other things about them, I was like, man, we kind of dodged the bullet on this one. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying it would have been a close game as Auburn would expect it to be, no Auburn standards, but I think overall, as far as their coaching staff stands, like you said, Dre Black brings that swag. You know, that secondary is going to be on point. What was the kid that flipped last year, Renard from Auburn to North Carolina? I can't remember his name right now.
Come on, the light skin Cam. Come on, Cam. Is it Cam Kelly?
Cam Kelly, yes, that's it.
Yes.
He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be an X factor on that.
Because I was looking forward to him.
Yes, I was too. I think he's gonna be an X factor, and I can't blame. We talk about recruiting, but I can't blame Kelly for not coming to Auburn and instead of staying home. That's another good thing about their recruiting. They're getting these local kids to stay in state.
Stay in state. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they got receivers. They got Brown, and they got Newsom. Look. But yeah, I really think that they're going to be the team sleeper at ACC.
I'm with you. I was predicting them to come in second on their side of the conference and battle for first. But you know, this is such a new thing right now with all of them together. You know, and having to work it out that way. So that was how I was feeling about it. Dave, what's your thoughts, sir?
North Carolina, like Tuck said, they're going to be solid on the back end. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think they're going to be good. I just don't put them up there with Clemson or heck, really. I think I got Notre Dame picked to beat them, but you know, but I like North Carolina, but I wonder. My question is what the longevity is going to look like. I mean, you know, Matt Brown has them hot right now, but is this just a phase? And unfortunately, if it is, you're at a point to where you have a team like a Clemson to where, I mean, yeah, you improve, but are you ever going to be able to get over that hump? Right. And there's so many other teams coming behind you, Louisville, your Florida States, you know. Then you got Notre Dame throwing them in the mix. So I expect them to be good. I think they're going to be, you know, somebody to tune into, but I really don't have a lot of high hopes for them, honestly.
Okay. I mean, I think you know, we have the national media and a lot of people have beaten up on the ACC a lot, but I think you can't really sit back and not recognize what has happened with an actual North Carolina or with a Miami and with this year with Notre Dame and with a Louisville and a North Carolina. Like the biggest thing to me when you talk about a conference is what's the middle? When you're middle, you know, most people have a top, you know, but it's like, you know, that 1B, 1C and all the way down that middle to actually balance out an actual conference. Can the 12th place team beat a second place team on any given Saturday? Right. To me, it's more of that about talent wise and everything else, you know. But looking at a lot of predictions, man, people are all over the place on North Carolina. I've seen 10-1, I've seen 11-0, I've seen 7-4. I've seen a lot of people just kind of go ping ponging back and forth. And I think it's just like y'all said, it's they know they got a good team. They know they got some areas, but it's almost like we said before, we just kind of gotta wait and see. So who else? Anybody else got anything on North Carolina that they want to get out?
I mean, the only thing I have to say is, will they be able to live with the expectations? Because when the divisions were separate. For the most part, they were the favorite to win. That them and Miami were. It was like you said, depending on which article you looked at, it was either Miami or North Carolina was the favorite to win that side of the division. So I guess, and we know this sometimes, and we've seen it coming in the seasons where teams were under the radar the last year, and then everybody expects them to make this massive leap the next year, right. and then they don't, and it's because they weren't able to just be able to live with the expectations. Their schedule opens up nice for them. You got Syracuse, Boston College, and Virginia Tech before they play Florida State, so they'll be able to get their footing to see whatever it is they're going to be. They'll be able to get their footing, and then they get Florida State, and then they get another nice little soft stretch with NC State, Virginia, and Duke, and wait. But then they got Notre Dame and Miami on the back end. So, like you said, they could be anywhere from 10-1 to 6. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just never know.
And for some reason, man, Duke. I will get to that in a minute. I mean, I have my own personal feelings about Duke, but I think we kind of summed up more of the heavy part of the ACC for the most part, except for one team, and we definitely and I do not want death threats at my door. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna let the two Florida State gentlemen talk because if I don't, like I said, it's gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna give them a couple minutes before we get ready to wrap it up with our picks of some questions we got and picking a few of these games for this weekend. So something we can get excited for this weekend because I only got college football, we got NFL football. Like if you ain't ready for tomorrow night. If you ain't ready from tomorrow going forward, man, I don't know what's wrong with you. If your heart ain't, you don't go to bed at night snuggled up with a smile, then you ain't no football fan. Don't even talk to me. Right. So whichever one y'all want to start out, y'all give me what I'll put you like this. I know what's your expectations for Florida State.
I'll go first. I'll let Ben finish up. Only thing I want to see is I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see but one thing.
What's that, sir?
And that's the offensive line play.
Yeah.
I don't want to see nothing else. I wouldn't care who at quarterback. I don't care who at running back. I don't care. I mean, I'm looking for the defense to be stout. I'm good there.
Right.
I'm looking for the offensive line play, point blank. I don't have nothing else to say. I just need to know if you're going to block somebody. Because if you can't block nobody, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter
about anything else.
Now, I will say this, Dave, to your point. I heard that the actual offensive line coach, the new offensive line coach, is connecting very well. He's teaching a different technique from the previous offensive line coach that seemingly works better with what they have talent-wise. Not saying it's a decrease; it's just some different techniques and stuff like that. When you talk about offensive line, some of them teach zone blocking with sliding, some teach all kind of stuff like that, and some of them are real technical about footwork, which you really supposed to be, but some of them are like real technical. Like if you take a wrong step, the whole play kind of blows up. Yeah, I just heard this guy's really good with it.
Yeah, all that sounds good. Look, I need somebody to block. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something about blocking.
It's about wheel.
Blocking is one thing that you have to want to block some damn body. You can't just say I want. Not everybody wake up and say I want to play offensive line. You have to be a special kind of person. So yeah, the new guy got this. Hell, the guy before that had that. Guy before that had that. I need some dogs.
You did this,
I need somebody that want to block somebody. I don't care who at quarterback. I don't care.
I'm sorry, Chuck. I try to bring football to a fan conversation. I'm sorry.
Let me help you out a little bit, Dave.
Let me mute myself real quick.
I help you just a tad, Dave. We do got 3 new fresh faces on the line. Maurice Smith actually beat out Bavion and Bassetti, so he's gonna be the starting center.
But is that saying a whole lot?
No, it's letting you know that the new staff done looked at what we had and like, you know what? Because Maurice Smith he's a redshirt freshman. He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, but I could have looked at what they had.
I know.
And then we hold
on. We got 3 new faces. Hold on. We got, and then we got Love Taylor from FIU. He held his own in they won showcase game last year against Miami. He actually held his own. We had Love Taylor, and then they're going to go ahead and start Darius Washington, another redshirt freshman. So I'm saying all that to say they moved Baby Ansari as the guard. They moved him from center. They moved him to guard, and then we got Pope at the other guard. So with all that being said, we got 3 new faces on the line. It should look somewhat different. Juwan Williams' ass is gone. Arnold is on the bench. It should look a smidge, just a smidge.
I need more than a smidge.
No, we just need them to be average. That's what we need them to do. We don't need them to be good. We need them to be average. But to your point, nothing else moves without that line. Now, the interesting thing is the kids from Mississippi State have come in, Jarian Jones and Fabian Levitt, they have come in and not necessarily taking spots, but they have come in and are going to, and Corey from A&M. All 3 of those kids from the SEC have come in, and Mike has recognized them, and they all are in the depth chart, and they all going to play a significant role.
From the what, man? From the what? Where they come from?
You know what? Don't do that. Don't do that, Tuck. I was on the road. Don't do that, Tuck. I was on the road, Tuck. Don't do that.
I can't wait till we get the SEC show.
Yeah,
I'm going buying all kind of props. I might have balloons and all kind of shit to blow up.
You know the gator gonna be choked up there. But the only thing, but I will say this because I'm gonna keep it super because y'all know I can talk about FBG. The only thing I will say is this: I want to see them take coaching and become disciplined. Because if there's the one thing that has been missing from us over the last, and not Taggart, because you go back to the last year with Jimbo. We've had a discipline problem on the field where we haven't been able to handle our emotions. And when shit go wrong, we go wrong. Like it's just that we give up and that's that. So I'm looking to see what we do when Georgia Tech scores, because everybody's been pumping our defense up about how good they are, how good how good Marv is, and how good the D-line is. What are we gonna do when Georgia Tech actually put some points on the board? Are we gonna fold, or are we gonna be disciplined enough to be like, okay, they got it, and keep it moving? That's what's been our problem for the last few years. So I just want to see us be a disciplined football team, manage mistakes. That's what Mike Norvell is preaching and bringing to the table. And
that sounds good. We need to block some damn body. You block somebody. You block somebody, all that other stuff take care of itself.
That's what I want to see. Go ahead. No, that's it. See, I kept it.
No, they ain't got nothing problem.
I kept it short.
No, you were fine. I wasn't saying that. I was over here reading because I'm like, let me just shut the hell up and let y'all go down.
Man.
So that's.
I mean,
hey man, I ain't ready to answer my questions, man. I wrote this stuff out.
They
hit
my head off like I'm the man that came and repoed the car. So I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to bring some perspective to it.
All of this niceness is good that you got from it, but come Monday, things don't go right Saturday. Just hit record, Renard, for like the first 10 minutes and just go eat dinner or something else. Cause
I am not gonna let you come on here and rant and rave. We don't want to hear that. I'm gonna tell you I hit record. I'm gonna tell you I've been hitting record, and I'm gonna be like, okay, you done? Okay, now we can start. That's what it's gonna be.
I see the live button right there.
So good. Hey, well, there's ways to manipulate that. Anyway, so look, can I get a? Well, we'll do. Can I get a prediction as far as like
what's up
season record from Florida State?
7-4.
Yeah.
7-4. Okay.
Yeah, 7-4, 6-4 conference. Yeah, I got to make 4 losses.
I got you. So let's move on to a couple of overall conference picks here. Let's see if we can get something in here. Who is your surprise pick of the year? It can be not player. Like as far as a team. Like from a team from what they was last year to what they plan probably be this year. Do you have a surprise pick?
Duke.
You black. Took mine.
I got them on my paper. I got them right down on my paper.
Oh no, I'm not doubting you. It's just like I didn't think nobody was gonna pick Duke. So Tuck, you go ahead, sir.
I am going to pick Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Some of these gonna have to be multiple because ain't that many teams I'm gonna pick from the bottom. I'm not picking Boston College.
No.
My pick is I'm gonna come from a little bit different angle. I have Florida State at 4 losses, but I think, and I said it'll be a surprise team. That'll be my surprise team because I'm gonna be surprised. I think everybody's gonna be surprised of how different that team will look from last year and the year before. Not a surprise team like, wow, I didn't know they would win 3 games. But I mean, from a standpoint of this team could logistically be a 7, he could be a 7-3 team. And that's nothing that, coming from what we were. I mean, what we finished last, what we won, 7 games last year, Ben? 6? Yeah. 6. So I mean, give me 7-3, 8-2, possibly. But possibly.
But I would say your 7-3 this year to me, Dave, would be almost like an 8-4 and 9-3 in a regular year.
That's true. So I'm picking them to be my surprise team, man. I'm expecting to see a dominant defense back, and I'm expecting to see us to be at least average on offensive side of the ball.
Duke was mine just because in this uncertainty that we are in, teams that have leadership and teams that have experience, whether it's the greatest experience or not the greatest overall experience or not, they're going to be ahead of the game. We're looking at teams that got different head coaches, as we'll talk about in the SEC and Big 12. I feel sorry for a couple of programs, man, of trying to implement a brand new system and a brand new coach with no spring ball and then kind of a pause fall ball with really no concise scheduling. So I'm gonna stick with Duke as my surprise pick, and just because I want to see what Chase Bryce can do if you give him a little bit of give him a little bit of shine and see how he do. So this question kind of almost the same. Who will not meet expectations?
Miami.
Oh wow, I'm a shocker.
Big shocker. I'm going to say Notre Dame.
Shocker. Shocker.
How is that shocking?
You're right.
I like Notre Dame.
I have Miami written down.
Yeah.
Okay. Who will not meet expectations? That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Notre Dame right now. For whatever everybody.
Let's do this for the audience. So
Chris gonna be in the
what are our expectations for Miami? What are the expectations? I have Miami with 4 losses. Are we?
I think most people have them as a 8-3 team. Most of 3 or 4 losses. Yeah, I think that's most people's expectation.
So let's say 3. You have Notre Dame with how many losses?
Me?
Yeah. No. Not you, Tuck. You probably gonna say they go 0-10. Bernard, what do you say?
You do know Tuck love Notre Dame, right?
He don't like Notre Dame. Hold on. Is Brian Kelly still the coach?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he don't like it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Notre Dame. I mean, I guess for expectation wise, I guess it's not really a big shock. Well, give me. I'm a flip flop between Notre Dame and North Carolina. I like both teams, but I think people have automatically elevated Notre Dame into this stature of 10-1 just automatically, and I just think going through that grind, I put it like this: I've seen 10-1 for most people expectations of it. Well, mine was kind of like 8-3 on an overall basis. So that's why I say I don't think they're going to meet those expectations, because people always talking about the Clemson Notre Dame matchup, and then they'll have a Clemson Notre Dame too in the ACC championship. It's like that's what people expectation. That's why I said I might feel like they might fall below.
Okay, so if they lose more than 3 games and UM lose more than 3 games, or either or, then that would be.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's for them not to make it because everybody expecting them to make it to the championship. So it's like if they don't make it to the championship, it's almost like a Clemson don't make it to the championship.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. Moving on, let's see here. We got your individual breakout player of the team, but going to be of any team. Just one player that you might have heard about that you just like, man, this kid right here, I think he's gonna have a big year.
Go ahead,
Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
No, Ben.
Ben got it written down. Go ahead and do what you got to do, sir.
I had Chase Bryce.
Is that really fair?
Yeah. Chase Bryce now at Duke. That's who I had for my. It was between him and Daz Newsome. Those are my two that I'm looking for because I'm looking for Daz Newsome also from North Carolina to take. I mean, he had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns last year, but I got a feeling that he's going to actually have an even more better year. So my two was between Daz Newsome and Chase Bryce. Okay. Those are my two workout players.
Mine was well. Go ahead, Tuck. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, mine's gonna be on it's gonna be on the other side of the football. I'm gonna go with Jalen Tywin of Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go defense. I think he's gonna be an Aaron Donald type player.
Rick Shop.
Yeah, beast.
I got you, Dave.
I got to change mine up because earlier we were talking about, ACC Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Then I brought up Malik then, or Malik. I'm going to go with another homegrown kid, man. Mr. LaDamian Webb from Beauregard.
Good.
I think he is going to light it up, man. That kid has been through so much. Is nothing better I would see, want to see than him do fantastic. I mean, from how you go from winning the state championship, running all these yards, and then you end up at a JUCO. It's like, wow, man, that got to be. And then you turn around and end up at a Power 5 like a Florida State. So I'm pulling for him. That's going to be my guy. I keep my eye on.
That's a good pick. Since you took him, I'm gonna take Malik. I'm gonna take him because I just think I'm looking at. There's a lot of quarterbacks in a lot of good situations,
right?
And a lot of them play this weekend. You got Book, you got Howell, you got you got Trevor at Clemson. But I wonder what Satterfield's gonna do with Malik, and so I'm gonna stick with him for right now and see where we end up at. So finally, the coup de grace. Who are your two teams in the championship and your winner? Start with you, Mr. Ben. Oh, Dave wants to go. I'm gonna let Dave.
Let me go first. Let me go and get it out of the way. So those two over there. They go. Let me go and get by. Mine's gonna be real quick and easy. I got Clemson and Notre Dame. Clemson win it by 3 touchdowns.
Dang.
But dang, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it out there. You got record. Record is pressed, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're good. We're definitely good. Go ahead. Whoever's going next.
Yeah.
Mine was the same, but just not by that much. But I got Clemson and Notre Dame in the title game with Clemson winning the title game.
Okay. So
I am going to say, Clemson versus North Carolina. I'm also going to say North Carolina beats Clemson.
Ooh.
In the game.
Saucy.
Whoa.
I mean, did you still on your meds over there?
Let me tell you.
You gotta be.
I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
Tell me what's gonna happen.
North Carolina will beat Clemson, and Dabo Swinney will go coach Jackson at Jaguars. That's what we'll say.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah. We do have record press, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, sir. It is recording.
We do have record press.
So I mean, I'm gonna do a wild card. I'm gonna say Clemson, and I'm gonna say Miami, just to do a wild card. And of course, I got Clemson winning probably about 10, 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got for that. So with that being said, we have one more thing. We're bringing it back this year. We have our pick'ems. Is the guy recording it ready to write down who got what?
Yeah,
we got to start, man. We got to start. I didn't get a chance to pull all my point spread this week, so we're just gonna pick some straight winners.
Okay.
So we got. We're gonna skip around here a little bit, just try to hit most of the bigger games, conference games, and stuff like that. So we got UAB and Miami tomorrow night at 7 p.m. ACC Network, of course. So Mr. Ben, who do you have?
Give me. I would have said what's the name with the upset until they had them people that's gonna be missing. So give me Miami.
Ain't no starters missing.
Depth. Y'all done broke me in about depth. So give me Miami.
Well, I hope not the first game, but
you might. Y'all be telling me you got to think about the number 2 and the number 3 being.
You do. But I was thinking about week 4 and 5. But after the COVID test, But Tuck, who you got?
I got Miami close.
Yeah. Dave?
Miami by 14.
All right. I got Miami by 17. Moving on to the next game. Let's go in order of time to come on. Let's start with Syracuse and North Carolina. Who y'all got?
North Carolina.
Carolina.
Everybody got Carolina? All right. I got Carolina. Moving on to another game. We're not gonna go through all of them. I'm sorry to some small schools. We'll get y'all when we can. Duke and Notre Dame at 1:30 on NBC. Ben?
Give me Notre Dame by 3.
By 3. I got you. Tuck?
It's in South Bend, so I'll say Notre Dame.
Okay. Dave?
Notre Dame.
Oh,
I'm not gonna pull the trigger. You know better.
Look, I'm like, so is he gonna do it?
I was like, if it was in Durham.
I mean, if I'm gonna do it, why not do it in the first week? Hey,
Yeah.
but nah, give me Notre Dame, as Corso says, closer than the experts think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Next game we got. I know 2 of these answers. Georgia Tech and Florida State at 2:30 p.m. on ABC. Do I even have to ask Ben or ask David? Okay, I didn't think so. Tuck?
Give me Georgia Tech.
What? Dang, I ain't gonna do you like that, man.
Boy, I tell you.
I ain't gonna do you like that, dog. Give me Florida State by 10, bro. Somebody gotta make an upset pick. I'll give you props for making an upset pick, but okay. I need to pull the lines on these games and see what we had.
It was 12 yesterday. It was 12 yesterday. It may have went down. It was 12 yesterday.
Oh, and the game in Tallahassee?
Yeah. At 2:30.
Okay.
No, you can't go back. No.
Don't
go back.
Actually, I feel way more confident in my pick now.
Oh boy.
Because 6 points give you home field advantage. I mean, home field advantage give you 6 points. So I'm straight.
America, he's on his meds. Don't pay him no attention.
All right. Let's move forward. I'm not going to talk about Austin Peay and Pittsburgh. It's not going to happen. Missouri State, Oklahoma, I'm not going to talk about it, but I am very anxious to see Spencer Rattler. And does that say Fox Sports Network pay-per-view?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah, it's been people been mad about it. Yeah.
No, bro. I'll find the stream. That's right. I'll find the stream somewhere. Somebody.
So what is it? So it's like 55. It's like 55 or 60.
Yep,
one of the other.
You
Yes.
see that?
Yes.
Okay.
People been pissed about it.
Okay. Let me bring it back. I'll find it somewhere to watch it. Okay. So let's move on to it's in state. No, we'll move from that. Clemson and Wake Forest. The game day game. Clemson at Wake Forest, 6:30 p.m. ABC. Ben?
Clemson.
Tuck?
Clemson.
Mr. Gardner?
Clemson big. Real big.
Yeah, give me Clemson also. All right. This one I wasn't going to do, but it's a little interesting a little bit just because of how they play. Tulsa and Oklahoma State is at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. Ben?
Go ahead. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
I'm Oklahoma State. I don't expect it to be close.
Yeah, about to say, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State, but that it might be more interesting than we think.
Chuba still running the ball, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Chuba's still running the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they really got a good 1, 2, 3 as far as QB, wide receiver, and running. But give me Oklahoma State. Tuck.
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Dave.
Okay, State.
All righty, Western Kentucky and Louisville. Ben.
Louisville.
Tuck.
Louisville, very close.
They
Still on the man. Louisville.
give me Louisville, maybe close to first quarter and a half. I think Louisville calms down and moves away and pulls away. We got UTEP and Texas.
On the long and that's on the Longhorn Network. Boy, I tell you,
I have that. That's ESPN, so that's part of ESPN package. Yeah, I ain't went to it in forever, but whatever.
Right.
Give me Elliger and the boys, dog.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
Texas big.
Okay. And for the sake of a little NFL, I want to give y'all one game that y'all want to choose. So I'm gonna read the games: Houston, Kansas City, Seattle, Atlanta, New York Jets, and Buffalo. The Bears and the Lions, Green Bay, Minnesota, Miami, New England, Philadelphia, Washington. Any of those stabby y'all? Okay, we keep going. I saw the LV. I almost forgot it was the Raiders.
I think Houston in the Texas game.
Yeah, the Houston and KC game. That's let's see how they look.
So none of the other games. So the Raiders and Carolina.
Who Tampa Bay play?
Tampa Bay plays. Is that New Orleans?
Yeah, that shit in a wall. Yeah, that should be New Orleans.
Yeah. That's New Orleans.
At New Orleans.
At New Orleans.
Yeah, that's gonna be my game right there. Yeah, I'll be all
right. And the night game is Dallas and the Rams.
Yes, and then
Sunday night.
Monday you got Pittsburgh and the Giants, and then Tennessee and Denver at 9-10. So, what y'all want to pick the Tampa Bay New Orleans game, or you want to go Houston KC? Or let's pick both of them.
Okay,
let's do that. Okay. We'll throw a little extra in there. We was about football right now, so we got Houston and KC. I don't know what the line is. I would probably expect that KC, just off the top of my head, have not seen, is a 7-point favorite.
I would go.
Somebody can double check that for me on covers.com. That's what I would think. But give me Kansas City 38-24.
38-24.
Give me Houston 28-23.
Give me Houston 31-17.
Give me Kansas City 31-20.
Okay. And what's the other one we're gonna say? We said Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
Yeah.
Whew. In the dome.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I'm not Brady. I don't know if you're ready, bro. Give me New Orleans in that rocking dome. 31. Give me Tampa Bay 24.
That'll be an interesting look. Just not now, but the look up. I want to have Brady. I'm sure in 20 years he's played there, but it'll be interesting.
How many times? Yeah.
How many times Brady actually played? Not Super Bowl wise,
I was gonna say
but
his
New
first
Orleans.
Super Bowl came from the Super Bowl.
Right.
So
but not Super Bowl wise. But give me New Orleans. I can't see Brady walking in there. Right. And now they talking about Evans with his hamstring. Nah, give me New Orleans. I take New Orleans 28-17.
I'm going to say Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. I'm going to say New Orleans 38-28.
Mr. Gardner.
Y'all are so disrespectful. How y'all gonna disrespect the GOAT?
I ain't disrespecting.
I can't disrespect that dome, man. I can't disrespect that dome, dog.
We don't care that GOAT. Don't care that about no dome. Don't care about that. Don't care about that at all.
I don't know. It's week 1, so I don't know. No preseason, no nothing. Give me. I don't know. I'm just going with the home team, bro.
Tom Brady
probably gonna win by 4 touchdowns.
Tom Brady's gonna get their ass down there, and they're gonna win the damn conference the division this year too. Mark my word. Hit record. Tuck, write it down. I'm going.
Tuck.
Brady.
Tuck, put his own stuff on the wall like Ernie do Charles stuff.
Yeah. Put it
on the wall like they do inside the NBA. Put it on the wall.
I'm gonna be like Woody, how Woody used to be with the board on thing, but like, look with this food just see.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going Tampa Bay, ladies and gentlemen. Tampa Bay Bucks 35-31.
I definitely can see it, brother. I can see it. But man, hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We're gonna be coming back at y'all hopefully on Monday with some games review, and then moving into a second week with some more games coming. Then the week after that, of course, hopefully we'll have more Big 12 games, and we'll have SEC, and maybe we can get some things cranked up for real. Just keep rocking with us, man. So we're gonna have a Big 12 preview coming up and an SEC preview coming up. But hit like, subscribe to the channel on all platforms, on our YouTube channel, man. Hit us up on Anchor to get the audio version of this, man. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Hit us all up, man, for Downside Football Podcast. It's your boy Renard Williams, and that's all I got. And Ben, Dave, Tuck, y'all got anything else?
That's it, man. Man, game week, man. We ready, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
y'all better y'all this week, man.
I hope y'all have a great weekend, man. And hopefully we don't have to come with y'all with no stupid breaking news before then.
Okay. Can we just kick the ball off tomorrow?
just kick the ball off tomorrow and enjoy some good football. And go Miner.
Go Miner.
Go
Miner.
Tiger.
First of all, hold up. Before you hit the button, when we come back on Monday, we'll have a high school upset to talk about too. But we'll just pause right there until Monday. Yeah, two.
We're gonna have two. We're gonna stay quiet about that. But we'll holler at y'all, man. We'll see y'all later.
All right, man. We out.